Today we are going to be creating some fun positive and negative space snowflakes. So to start off with, I have a foam snowflake shape and some liquid watercolors. I'm also using cardstock paper, but you could use any sort of mixed media or heavyweight paper. And basically I'm going to be spraying these liquid watercolors on top of my snowflake to create some negative space on one paper, and then I'm going to stamp the snowflake on the other paper to create positive space. Here I'm showing you that I've labeled my watercolors because liquid watercolors are sometimes a little tricky to tell apart. So if you can identify them with a sticker or write the color on there, that is really great. And I generally like to use either warm or cool colors because I know that they mix well together, but you should just choose 3 or 4 colors that you want to use to spray. I am showing you here that you do not want to hold the spray bottle straight down. There is a little tube that gets the paint up to the top, and you want to hold it diagonally. That's going to help you keep big blobs to a minimum, and it's going to help you not saturate your foam shape too much. So to start off with, I'm going to sit my snowflake shape where I want it on my first paper, and I'm going to have it going off of my paper just to make it a little more interesting. And I'm starting off with my first color. I shake it up and I very gently mist the paint on here. I don't want to oversaturate it because, like I said, it's going to go underneath the snowflake if I do that. And here you can see that negative space spray created a positive space snowflake. And I'm going to try to match my second one on the other paper in the same place. So I'm sort of making a positive space snowflake on one and a negative space on the other paper so that they sort of match and they are opposites. I want to press really gently and pick it up. And now you can see here clearly the positive space and the negative space sort of mirroring each other. Next, I'm going to wipe off that extra paint. You want to be kind of gentle with these foam shapes because they can rip if you press them too hard or spread them apart too hard. And then I'm just going to continue doing this. I'm sitting my snowflake somewhere on my paper and I'm going to choose a different color. I choose orange next, and I'm just going to continue using that same technique, holding my spray bottle sort of diagonal, not spraying too much, and then picking it up very gently and placing it on my other paper in the same location that I just had it on my first paper. Trying to make the same image, but one is positive space and one is negative space. And I'm pressing it down and I'm going to continue to clean it. And it's important to remember that with this technique, it's not going to be perfect. You're probably going to have times where you spray it and the spray does go under your foam shape, or you use too much and it drips off. And when you go to stamp it, it doesn't show up perfectly, but that's okay. This is all about the process, and also our next step that we do is going to sort of cover up any mistakes that we made. So here you can see my papers are dry. It's the next day, and I am going to be doing Zen tangles in the background of this specific snowflake. So the one where I did the positive space and the negative space, I'm going to make Zen tangles, which are just patterns and lines that are really relaxing. So the first thing I'm going to do is outline all around my snowflake. So anywhere there is a space, I'm going to outline it. Once I outline all around the snowflakes, I am going to fill in all of the negative space with lines and patterns. You can see here I made a little bit of a shadow on just the right-hand side of each snowflake. That helped it sort of stand out. But this is just one option for these. On the other paper, I am going to be doing a stippling technique. So here I have my other paper that I sprayed around the negative space, and it's super colorful. And I'm going to do a stippling technique, which is basically tiny dots to fill in a space. I used warm colors when I sprayed here, so I'm going to continue using warm colors with my markers. And I am just going to make teeny tiny little dots to outline my snowflake. So I'm starting with this one with a dark color. I kind of want this one to stand out from the other ones. So I'm going to go all around this snowflake with the dark colors. And then I used lighter colors kind of around the other ones. The next thing I'm going to do is just continue to add layers of dots around, and I'm going to fade them out as they head into that negative space. So you can see here I dotted all around. This is pretty time consuming, but also kind of relaxing. So this snowflake is standing out because I used a darker color for stippling, and the other ones I used some lighter colors. But these are just 2 options that you can use to sort of help your compositions of your positive and negative space snowflakes, is doing Zen tangles or stippling to fill in that space. So I hope you enjoy creating these snowflakes.